Hey folks, welcome back to the Steak Playoffs. We've got an action-packed video for you today as we're doing two matchups in one video. And I predict there's gonna be an upset today. Speaking of upsets, we know it can happen. Round one, we saw the Denver steak beat out the ribeye. Didn't expect it, pretty cool, but certainly didn't expect that to happen. In round two, we saw the filet mignon beat the Terrace Major. We expected that one, but it was a closer vote than we thought, 2-1. Now, for today's matchup, we've got one steak you definitely have heard of, and you probably have had one before, called the New York Strip. And it's going against a much lesser well-known steak called the flat iron. But the flat iron is becoming much more popular for a number of different reasons, and we'll go over that in just a minute. Our second matchup today features two much lesser well-known steaks. You really can't even find them in the grocery store. You gotta go to a butcher shop typically. And that's the hanger steak versus the Bavette steak. And both those are really cool steaks with a lot of neat information about them. So we'll get the steaks out, go ahead and get them trimmed up, take a look at them, tell you all about them, get the grills fired up. Let's go. All right, folks, let's take a look at our first two steaks, the New York Strip and the flat iron. Here's the New York Strip. And I forgot to mention, guys, this steak is from Porter Road. They have sponsored this video again, and they've given me all the steaks they had in stock. They had the New York Strip. They did not have the flat iron when I ordered this, but they have the New York Strip here. It's dry aged, which makes a fantastic steak, of course. But there is the New York Strip. Now let's cut it open and take a look at it. So here's your New York Strip from Porter Road. I love the way this steak looks. It's a very good looking steak. This comes from the short loin of the cow. Now the short loin is kind of on the back end of the spine, if you will, from behind the ribeyes. Now you'll notice it's got a good fat cap and good intermuscular fat, but as you go further towards the head of the cow where your ribeyes are, you're gonna get much more fat, intermuscular fat, better fat cap, that kind of thing. So this is not a ribeye, but it's a very, very good steak. It's not as tender as filet, it's not fatty as ribeyes, it's just a good all-around good steak. I kind of equate this to that guy who comes to work every single day, doesn't miss a day, he's loyal, you know what you're gonna get out of him, this is that guy. Very good steak. Now, as far as pricing goes, this steak is $31 on sale at Porter Road right now. It's an average of 3/4 of a pound steak. Now, if you go to your grocery store, it's gonna be about 23 bucks per pound for a commodity steak. This is, of course, dry aged, different harvesting mechanisms, the whole 9 yards. It's a different kind of quality steak, but just to give you perspective, it's 23 bucks a pound at the grocery store, at my grocery store, for a certified Angus beef New York Strip. Here is your flat iron steak. Now, this is from the shoulder of the cow, really the chuck primal area. Now, historically, this was just ground up because the flat iron steak has a massive amount of connective tissue, thicker than this even, between the two halves. There's usually another half on that. And butchers have figured out a way to fillet that off. You'll notice the picture I put on the screen right now. That's not a great picture of the steak, but of the connective tissue, you'll see that's what we're trying to do, is we're gonna fillet the steak off of that connective tissue that's between the two halves. And that's what they've done here. This is a really good looking one. I don't know if you can see that, it's really good intermuscular fat in this. Very, very flavorful steak. It is worked more so than, say, the New York Strip or even the filet mignon. Of course, it's worked more than those steaks are. Very good beef flavor, very, very tender. Some people consider it to be a mixture of the ribeye and the filet mignon, believe it or not, which would be ideal, right? If that was true. But I think this might be where our upset comes from today. I think this steak might be the New York Strip. I don't know that, of course, but I think that's what's gonna happen. I've had this flat iron before. This is a fantastic piece of meat. I love this thing. It's got more beef flavor than filet. Not quite as tender as filet, but nothing is, of course, but it's got more beef flavor than that. It's very even thickness all the way through. It cooks very fast. You're gonna cook on a high heat to medium rare, medium at the very most. Cut it across the grain. That's hugely important. The grain runs the length of the steak. We're gonna cut it across the grain. I can't wait to give this a try. We're gonna season these up, guys, with the same thing we've been using, which is, of course, Gulf Coast Smokes, that base. It's our SPG type mixture. I love this stuff. We're gonna season these up with this. And our judges will do the same thing with these. They've been doing it all along, just doing a blind taste test based on what they think of the taste, the tenderness, the juiciness, that kind of thing, and what steak they would wanna order more from at the restaurant. If they had to order one of these two, which one would they order? I'll get these seasoned up, and we'll go ahead and do that now. I'll let these sit out for a while. I want to season both sides. And as I always do with my steaks, I'll let these sit for a bit while we get our charcoals up, going. I want to get this fat cap a little bit. I'm going to score that here in a second too, show you how to do that. Just a real easy score. All I'm going to do, guys, is just take my knife and just kind of score it like this, just so I can go through that fat a little bit. And it'll help to prevent it from, I even go like this, just lightly cut this way. And that'll help prevent it from, hopefully, from curling up. That's the intent of that. I'll get some of this extra fat off here for that matter, of course. Just a little bit too much there. All right. Nonetheless, we will sear that and get that going too. All right, folks, before I go and get the hanger and bavette, I guess I need to go over the cost and the pricing of the flat iron steak. Now, like I said, they're out of them at Porter Road when I ordered these. So on their site though, for about a half-pound flat iron steak, it's $23 for about a half-pound steak. But at your grocery store, at my grocery store, this was $16.99 a pound. Fantastic price. And that's why flat irons are becoming much more popular. Now, it's not dry aged at the grocery store. You're going to get the dry age factor from Porter Road. That's why it's going to be more expensive, of course. But good quality steak at Porter Road as well. Probably a little better quality steak, obviously. But nonetheless, at the grocery store, you can get something like this, a choice grade, for $16.99 a pound. Fantastic pricing. Definitely want to keep an eye out at your grocery store. Ask your butcher if they can get you some if you can't find them at the grocery store. But definitely, it's much more affordable than most anything else. And the quality of meat you're going to get, the taste and the tenderness, fantastic. So now I'm going to grab the hanger and bavette and we'll go over those. All right, folks, let's go over the hanger steak first. Again, these came from Porter Road. This one here is actually 1.19 pounds. We'll go over pricing here in a minute, but there's the hanger steak right there. Now there's a big seam connected to you right there in the middle that we need to make sure we work around. Maybe even separate after we cook because we don't want that will not be edible. Now let's get it open and take a look at it. All right, folks, so here's our hanger steak. And it's called a hanger steak because that's exactly what it does. It hangs down below the diaphragm. Very good looking steak. Got a great loose grain steak. It does hang below the diaphragm. Like I said, it's considered offal. And I mean by that is O-F-F-A-L, which means it's an internal organ, such as the liver or the heart or the tongue, something like that. I'm not gonna tell my judges that till after they've had a bite. I don't know if they freak out or not, but it's just another piece of meat, to be honest with you, no big deal. Now, this is definitely a high heat to a medium rare finish type steak. It's got a great beef flavor, very beefy flavor. Like I said, I would consider this, if I wanted to personify this, I would consider it a John Wayne of steaks. It's gonna be the steak that walks into the bar, kicks the door open and says, I'm here, and punches you right in the mouth. I mean, it's a good, hearty steak. I can't wait to give it a try for our Judges Day, cook on it, and see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to that one for sure. Now, it's going up against the Bavette steak, and here's the Bavette steak. We'll take a look at it. The packaging, I got this also at Porter Road, came from them, so thank you, Porter Road, for this. Now this one is actually a little over half a pound. Bavette steak, let's take it open and take a look at it. All right, so there's our Bavette steak. Take a look at that good looking steak there, good looking neuromuscular fat in that as well. Now it's called the Bavette. Now the reason why they call it, it comes from actually the lower sirloin of the cow. And the word Bavette is actually a French word that means bib, and it kind of hangs like or draped like a bib in the cow. Pretty cool, huh? Now it's got a really good beef flavor. It's a very open, look at me, it's very open grained. Takes on marinade very, very well. Not gonna use marinade today, of course. We're trying to cook every one of these the same, but you definitely wanna slice this against the grain. That's hugely important, guys. It'll work yourself to death in your mouth if you don't cut across the grain. The grain's running this way. We're gonna cut that way, of course, which makes it easy, but it definitely wanna make sure you do cut it across the grain. It's got a very deep, beefy, rich, very rich beef flavor. Hot and fast to medium rare. Definitely not more than anything more than medium as well, because again, it's gonna be tough if you do cut it across the grain or cook it too much. So very, very looking forward to cooking this for the judges as well. A very cool looking steak. Now we'll get our seasoning on these too. Let them sit while we get our charcoal going. Let me go ahead and season these up a little bit as well, using the exact same thing again. Gulf Coast Smokes, that base. There's a light coating of seasoning on these. Folks, I did forget to tell you about the pricing for these two. Let me tell you, I got both these from Porter Road. The Bavette steak is about half a pound, like I said, and it's $19, a flat fee of 19 bucks for that steak. And the hanger steak is about a pound and a quarter, 1.25 pounds, and it was 45 bucks. It's a flat rate as well. It's 45 bucks for that steak. Now, obviously that sounds a little high, guys, but I'm telling you, the hanger steak is not dry aged because of where it comes from, but every other beef you're gonna get pretty much from Porter Road is dry aged. And I'm gonna tell you, top quality meat. Now, you're not gonna be able to find this at your grocery store. It's gonna take somewhere like Porter Road to have it, and not every butcher's gonna have it because this is not easy to get to. Again, it's middle of the cow, hanging down below the diaphragm. So, nonetheless, I think these are great. It's not something you'll buy every day, of course, but you wanna try one? Hey man, give it a try. Definitely go to their link. I have a link down in the description below for them. Click on that link and go check it out, see what you think, and get you one of these. Just try it out, see what you think, at least special occasions or something. Nonetheless, there you go, guys. The pricing is 19 bucks for the Bavette, 45 bucks for the hanger. All right, so we're gonna let this sit out, get our charcoal going, bring you back, we're ready to put the steaks on. All right, folks, as is always the case for me, I'm using B&B charcoal, using lump charcoal. Gonna be doing a 2-zone setup. There we go, get our grate on. Get our lid on. Let that grate get heated up and scrape it off a little bit and put our steaks on. Be back in a minute. All right, folks, we're ready to go ahead and start putting our steaks on. We're gonna start with this grill. We're gonna do the New York strip. We're gonna go right over the hot coals and get a good sear. And the flat iron as well. That flat iron's a beast. Now, guys, I'm telling you, that thing, you can feed more than one person with that. Obviously, it's 1.5 pounds here. So I told you the price of these. Think about that. I'm feeding at least 2 people with that flat iron steak. There you go. Now we'll get the other 2 on the other grill. I'll take the hanger, put it right there, and the bavette right there. Let that go for, golly, that smells so good already, guys. Let that go for a bit. All right, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and take the lid off this thing. We'll keep an eye on this. And turn these every couple of minutes. I don't want to get too much. See, look at that, I already got a good bark on that one already. Flat iron as well. We'll keep doing that and turn it every couple of minutes. We'll do the other ones on the other side too. I'll leave the lid off and we're gonna go ahead and check how our sear's going on these. Of course, nowhere near to be turned. Just want to look and make sure we were good. Yep, a couple more minutes there, only a minute or 2 more there. And we'll check on these over here. Going back and forth here, folks. I just want to get a good sear on both of these. And then we'll move them off to the cool zone here in a second. Once I get these a good sear, a good bark on those, we'll do that, move them over. Now we'll go back to the other grill. Kind of work our way back and forth here, bear with me. All 4 of these steaks like very high heat. Which is great because we're giving them very high heat right now. And we're gonna work them until they get a good crust on them, then we'll move them to the cool zone like I said. Well, the bavette's looking good, so they're both looking really, really good here. We'll get us a good sear on this side, a good bark, and we'll move to the cool zone here in a minute. Now I'm taking all 4 of these steaks, guys, to about 120, 125 max. Pull them off and let them rest. And they'll probably rest up to 132, 133, maybe even 135, depending on how hot they get here. But nonetheless, we're gonna let them go to about 125 max and pull them off. Now I wanna move this over to the cool zone. Put our lid on. Let these cook a little bit. So that one's gonna be there for just a bit. We'll bring you right back as soon as I do something with those. Now we're checking these. Not quite ready to move to the cool zone yet. They're not far from ready. Gotta keep an eye on them. We'll use our ThermoPen 1 to keep an eye on these things. Make sure they do really well and get the right temperature. We don't want to overcook them, that's for certain. Now I've got the lid on the other one already, which has the New York strip and the flat iron on it, but I'll make sure all vents are open. It's getting the full flow of air, so it stays really good high heat in there, even though they're off on the cool zone, the cool side. I want to definitely make sure my temperature stays way up. So all vents are open fully. And the same thing will happen over here when I go to move these over to the cool zone. I'll leave all vents open. All right, folks, we'll move these over to the cool zone now. We definitely don't want to overcook these. Put the lid on. And now we'll check the temps on the other ones. All right, folks, our New York strip is ready. It's 122, 123. We're gonna pull it off, let it rest. So let's check the temperature of our flat iron now, see where we're at here. 125 on the butt. We're pulling it off now. Let it rest. Now we're gonna temp check the Bavette. 111, 112, 113, getting close. And here's the hanger. Hanger's at 115, 114, 115. So we're gonna let it go a little longer. Ready to pull them off here shortly. It won't take long. All right, y'all, the Bavette is done, I think. 122, 123. Yep, that's what we're looking for right there. We're gonna go ahead and pull it off. Let it rest as well. So the only thing left now is the hanger second. Let's check the temperature on it. See where we're at. 115, 116, 117. We'll give it about another minute or so. Then we'll pull it off and let it rest as well. All right, folks, we got all 4 steaks done at about the 122, 125 range. They've all rested for about 10 or 15 minutes. The strip got done quicker than anything. It's been resting probably 15 minutes. That's okay. We'll cut each one of them open here, take a bite, and see what we think. Let's start with the New York strip first. Let's slide these over to a little bit to the side. Cut this strip right in half. Let's see how it looks here. Oh, it looks fantastic. Look at that, guys. Wow. Take a look at that. Very pleased with that. Perfect New York strip, guys. Looking forward to trying that one. Now let's cut open the flat iron right across the middle as well. Oh yeah. Man, look how good that looks, folks. I'm telling you, I think this might end up beating the New York strip. We'll see. Very pleased with that one too. See how that looks right there? Now let's go with the hanger. Now remember we got this big piece of connective tissue across it, but we'll go ahead and slice it and worry about that later. I know we can't eat that, but oh yeah. Look at that, guys. Really good looking hanger steak right there, dripping everywhere. Now we do the bavette. Again, very good looking. I'm gonna cut all these across the grain, of course, as we slice them for our judges and for us to take a bite here in a second. But all four of them are right there, looking really good. All right, guys, so let's take a taste of each one of these. I'll take a bite of this strip first. Gosh, it looks good, guys. I'm telling you what, it looks so good. All right, cheers, folks. New York strip. That's so good. Cooked perfectly, very good beefy flavor. Enough fat to make it tender and juicy. Very good steak. Very pleased with that New York strip there. Now let's try the flat iron. It's a competitor for the day. We're cutting across the grain. Cut us a little piece of that off. Cheers, folks, flat iron. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm right, guys. That's gonna win. Flat iron's gonna win that. I really think it will. I don't know. It's fantastic taste. Super juicy, super flavorful, beefy. I love it. It is fantastic. I think it will beat the New York strip. I don't know. We'll see what the judges think. But if I was voting, I would definitely vote for the flat iron. Now let's go with the hanger steak. Again, cut across the grain on this, guys. Now we've got to remember to avoid that connective tissue, so I'm gonna come way off to the side to get my bite. Here's a bite of hanger steak. Here we go. That is very, very good. I'm very impressed with that too. Man, that's great. Great steak. Very good beefy, rich beefy flavor, but that's fantastic, guys. I'm real pleased with that. That's very, very good. I'm telling you, I'm impressed with the hanger steak. Let's try the bavette now. I think the thing about the hanger steak that's so good is it's got that rich beefy flavor. Not like a brisket, but rich like a brisket. You know what I mean? It's just a very rich beef flavor. All right, here goes the bavette. Cheers. Also very, very good. I'll tell you, I don't taste a lot of difference between hanger and bavette. Now, of course, I've had my mouth full, 4 different steaks here, but that actually is very good too. I think if I was gonna predict, I think the hanger will win, just based on the beefy flavor of it, because they're both very tender, but I think the hanger will win, so that's my prediction. I predict the flat iron and the hanger. I could miss both of these, but for my flavor, my taste right now, that's the 2 I'd pick. So, all right, guys, I'll get these cut up, ready for our judges to come out. When they come out, we'll go and see what they think. Back in a minute. All right, folks, I got all the steak pieces cut up and ready for our judges to come try them. So I've got them A and B lined up for them. I'll bring them out. We'll see what they think. Here we go. Now, thank you to our judges. I've got Granny, my wife, Russell, my son, and Bailey, my daughter-in-law. Thank you, Bailey, for doing this. We really appreciate it. It's your first time here. We're excited to have you. So we're gonna try out the steaks like I told you guys. Now, you don't have any idea which steak is which, but you're gonna try the one first and closest to you on the right. So it'll be A. Go ahead and try steak A of the first test. Our left, your right. Now, try, if you swallowed your steak, I'll wait for Granny to swallow slow. Okay, there we go. I'll wait for Granny. Now we'll try steak B. Go ahead and try that and see what you think of that one. Now, what I want you to do is hold up the plate of the one you would want to order in a restaurant. Which one did you like enough to where you want to order that in a restaurant? Wow. Okay, guys, I got it right. They did. We have an upset. The flat iron steak beat the New York strip 3-0. It's exactly what I thought was going to happen. I predicted that, but I got it right. I can't believe it.
I don't think you've ever had all 3 of them.
I've never had anybody have an exact full clean sweep like that. So that's fantastic. The flat iron, I love that steak. It's so good. Did y'all like it? It was really good, right? It was really good.
Texture and good flavor.
Yeah, texture and flavor both. I love that steak. And what's really cool about that one, it's the cheapest steak of any of the 4 you're going to try today. It's hugely important to this. Now, test number 2 is up in front of you. If you want to pull those back to you, you can, but you're going to try the one on your right, our left, which is A. Try that first. Go ahead and take a bite of steak A on your right. Okay, everybody good there? All right. When you've finished and swallowed that up, try steak B. All right, so now as you're chewing that up and you're thinking about it, I want you to do the exact same thing. Tell me which steak, holding up your plate, A or B, which steak you think you would order in a restaurant before the other one. Which one would you rather have in a restaurant? All right, well, we have one A and two Bs. So the A, it's always granted being difficult. No, that's great. A was the Bavette steak and B was the hanger steak. Now, I have told everybody at home, but I have not told you guys, the hanger steak is actually considered, let me say this for you, offal, O-F-F-A-L. And offal means an internal organ, okay? This hangs from below the diaphragm, like a kidney or a tongue or a liver. Bailey's gonna get sick on us.
Don't say too much more.
I wanted to let you guys know, but obviously it's a fantastic piece of meat. It's a very tasty piece of meat. So yeah, very, very cool. So our hanger won, beat the Bavette, and the flat iron beat the New York strip. So cool, guys. Thank you very much for your testing. I appreciate it very much. We'll bring you guys back next week. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the steaks.
You're welcome.
They were all great.
All right, folks, there you have it. My prediction of an upset actually came true. The flat iron beat out the New York strip just like I thought it might. Now, I don't think in a couple of years that'll be so much of an upset because the flat iron is going to gain a lot of popularity over the next couple of years. And because it tastes so good and it's very affordable. The texture, the flavor, everything was just so good. I love that steak. Now, our other matchup, the hanger beat up the Bavette. I had no idea which way that would go. I did like the hanger as well. I did predict it, I think, but I didn't have any idea which way it'd go. I like the beefy, rich flavor of that hanger steak. It was really, really good. The Bavette wasn't a bad steak. We had to pick a winner, and it turned out the hanger was the winner today. So now, folks, next episode, we're gonna do both semifinals, which will feature the Denver steak versus the filet mignon, and then the flat iron versus the hanger steak. And then in that same episode, we're gonna go ahead and do our finals and find out who's gonna win this whole thing. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you'll be right there with it when it happens. That'll probably be next week. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hope you got some value out of it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We greatly appreciate that. Until next time, I'll meet you at the smoker.